What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a full swing transfer window that's kicking off at full speed, full steam on all fronts right now. And maybe it's because we need a lot, so a lot of news should be coming out, but we need a lot, or we needed a lot the last couple of seasons, and we done extremely little, which is part of the reason why we're in this situation, obviously. But we're gonna talk about in this video is Zirkzee that potentially could be an option, a serious option very soon. Calafiori update as well, and a Gudmundsson update, and a very strange update if I'm not gonna lie. But before we get into it, as always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification because it's gonna be a busy summer. But let's go. Okay, so we do start off with Zirkzee. Some Mirko Di Natale. Zirkzee has been linked with us the last couple of weeks and months, but especially the last couple of weeks. Although Milan are leading the race right now, we need to kind of say that because that is what actually is happening right now. They are leading the race, so we need to keep that into consideration at this moment in time that they're leading the race. But we're in the mix for them. We are in the mix for Zirkzee, excuse me, for Zirkzee. We are in the mix for Zirkzee. And it's just more than a rumor right now, because Mirko Di Natale is saying that should Juve sell Moise Kean and Milik, or even both, then the priority will be to sign a new striker, and if Juve are successful, it will be Joshua Zirkzee. There are other news reports out there that, and I will come that in a minute, that Kean could be used in swap deals, whatever. Kean is out of his way. I don't think it will be that hard to move on Kean, for the reason that I think he will be very helpful in terms of finding a new solution, because he was willing to join Atletico on loan that made no sense, because he was probably not going to get minutes there, but he was still willing to take that step in his career mid-season. And Milik one, maybe his wages could be a problem. Transfer fee, no. I think the club will be very willing to cooperate with him in terms of finding an agreement, that both can go their own way. So I'm assuming it's not the hardest task to do, but the issue is I don't think there are two deals that will be done very soon in the window, because I don't think teams are jumping to sign those players. I think those are options for teams later on the window where they're like, okay, we will take Milik, when we will work with Milik, or okay, we will take Kean and whatever. But these are not type of deals you get done, in my opinion, very soon in the window. And that's the issue with Zirkzee, because I think Milan will push extremely early to bring in Zirkzee. And that's what I think could be the difference. We are in the mix for Zirkzee, and depending on Chiesa and Sule and whatever, it could really escalate really quickly. It can escalate really quickly from just interest to actually real talks and potentially an offer. We know Motta likes him. We know he likes Motta. There are news reports out there that he actually wants to be following Motta to continue taking the right steps in his career, basically. But if we cannot move out these players soon enough, then yeah, Milan is not going to wait. They're just going to jump on it, and they can close that deal whenever they want. So something to keep an eye on. But again, it could be really quickly done for Milan, and then it's pointless to talk about it. Or same for us. We can accelerate really quickly and start talking with Bologna ASAP as well, because you're on talks for Motta, kinda. I guess there were some sort of contact. But you're in contact for Calafiori, so it can go really quickly either way. Now, talking about Calafiori, Romano had a big update on Calafiori, but I chose Mirko Di Natale's news because that was more in detail, because Romano said players could be involved in the deal. Which players? That's it. Mirko Di Natale said that this week the club could present their real first official offer for Calafiori, saying that Juve could make an offer for Calafiori this week. They can include some players in the deal, for example, players like Barbieri, Ealing Jr., Moise Kean, Caviglia, and Barnechea. Now, I'm not sure if they want to go get Moise Kean on 3.5 million. I'm not sure Kean is willing to lower his demands so much as well. Now, they do play Champions League. I can see Nicolosi going there if Bologna wants him. I can see Barbieri going there if Bologna wants him. I can even see Barnechea going there if Bologna wants him. I'm not convinced about Junior accepting that if he has offers from the Premier League, nor am I convinced Moise Kean will accept that purely based on his wages. I think he needs to drop that big time, and I'm not so sure he's willing to do that. I'm not so sure Bologna are willing to invest real money in Moise Kean as well. Now, the Calafiori thing, at this moment in time, it's a matter of time. It's going to happen, but when is it going to happen? That's the type of vibe you're getting of that deal. Now, this week, it could be a good week to see, okay, it's getting really close. It's just about details now. I think it needs to be done before the Euros for Juve's own sake. For Bologna, I think they can wait, but for Juve's sake, I think they should be getting this wrapped up before the Euros. But yeah, who are you going to get in that deal? How are you going to include that in the deal? Or is it going to be with an option to buy back? If it's Barbieri, Nicolosi, and Kean, it's probably not going to happen. With Junior and Barnechea, I can see the club doing that maybe, but not even there if they get involved. But this will depend on Bologna. How much do they really want for Calafiori? How much do they value the players you're trying to offer? Because they're in control right now. Because he's a hot commodity. He has offers from the Premier League, from the Bundesliga. So they can sit back and they can say, yeah, we know Calafiori wants to join Bologna. And we will show respect to it. Motta. We show respect to it because of what they've done. But they also could be pissed and they'll be like, hey, you're pulling our pants down. You take our coach. Now you want to do this. This is a price tag. We want at least that amount in cash. And whatever player you offer, we value him at max of that, so make it work. So let's see what will happen this week, but a real offer needs to be made this week so the club can actually work towards finding an agreement before the Euro starts. I think that's very key in this situation. Now, the last bit of news for today, or for this show, is Gudmundsson, a player that had a good season, but actually I'm so confused about the link. So it's from Nico Shira saying that Gudmundsson is among Juve's main targets. No bids have been made yet, but positive talks with his agents already took place. Genoa are looking to get 35 million euros. Now, I'm not saying he's not worth 35 million euros, whatever. I don't think he is, to be honest. But if somebody says yes, he is based on this season, whatever. But is he that much worth for us at this moment in time? Because he is going to be a backup. He's not going to be a main guy. There's no way we're going to spend 35 on a backup, right? Because that would be weird. That would be crazy. That would only make sense to spend that money if you're selling a lot of players. Players you're, at this moment in time, assuming to keep. Only then it would make sense. But 35 million euros for Gudmundsson sounds like a lot of money, in my opinion. Like, to me, it sounds like a lot of money. Because I like Gudmundsson, but I don't like him at amount of 35 million euros. I don't, And as of now, if you look at the setup of our team, it's going to be a backup. 35 million euro for a backup? I don't see us happen. I don't see us doing that. So maybe Genoa are going to lower the demands, but I'm not so sure. I think other teams are willing or are more willing to spend that money on Gudmundsson because they don't have the options we have at this moment in time. So it is an interesting one because, yeah, everybody confirms we had talks with his agent. We actually have some sort of agreement on the wages, it's just Genoa asking for 35 million, which is a lot of money for a club looking for a backup potentially, So let's see how that will escalate, but it feels like the club has put out feelers on different for different players, and I think they will pounce on the right one when they deem it be the right moment and the right player. So let's see, but it's more about Zirkzee right now, and especially Calafiori this week, especially Calafiori, but the Zirkzee one, we need to keep an eye on because that can escalate in both ways, I think, really quickly, So we need to stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comments what you think about the news. Subscribe, like the video, and I will see you guys later on. Ciao.